Chewies, here's Sir Alexandra, and today it's a little bit old school painting. I found on eBay this nice old Krell, and well, today we will paint him. He was horribly painted with a maybe an inch thick paint job on it. Well, a little bit turpentine, 3 days swimming in it, and with a toothbrush rubbing after this. He's now ready to paint, and well, we will start with simply priming him in black, and I'll be back when he's primed. So he's primed, and the first thing we are going to do is simply over brushing the whole miniature with tin bits. I want his armor to be well, nice rusted and also corrugated in some parts where he has brass armor, and so for both instances the tin bits is a good base coat. So quick and easy job, just take a big brush and over brush him. So you notice he has no back banner yet anymore. Well, I simply don't like it, and so I leave it off. So, and of course you can use this painting tutorial for all your Wight King Krell itself, or your Black Knights, or everything that needed a nice, ancient and rusted armor. So it's almost done. Okay. I think that's okay. So, what I'm going to do now is take some bolt gun metal and mix it with the tin bits in a 50-50 ratio. So, be right back when this tin bits layer is dry. So, there I'm back, and like I said, the next thing will be a mixture out of bolt gun metal and tin bits. And well, I will now cover all the armor parts that I want to have in metal. So just simply dry brush over it. So here are the legs, for example, and outside the dog is barking. Quite annoying, but well, what you want to do, I can't stop them. So I think that's enough. Oh, up there. Okay, it's not enough. So, but now, then I will go with pure bolt gun metal. An even slighter amount of dry brushing. Just a little bit. So, okay. I guess that's enough. Now let's take a look at the brass parts, and for that we need now dwarf also, and a different brush. So let's take this one. Shake the pot first. Very important, always shake your pots, because the color will separate otherwise, and you don't want that. So now I will go over the parts of the armor that will be brass. Like here the shoulder pads, then here the chaos symbol on his chest. Yes, Krell once was a chaos warrior. By the way, nice idea if an undead player would use chaos warriors as as troops, convert them to undead. Never actually thought of that. But well, I have Bretonnian knights in my army. Why simply not use also chaos knights or everything else? Well, there's one thing I am still missing in my undead army book, that are undead ogres. Well, you could argue, yes, you can use this new super ghouls for them. Well, I might do that. Use the rules for them, but convert undead ogres. Would be a nice idea. I guess necromancers don't have the ability to turn ghouls into these big creatures, but, well, they can raise almost everything from the dead. So, why not ogres? Zombie ogres. So, okay. I think that's nice. So now the chainmail again with metal. I've forgotten that. Slightly brushing over it. And the dog is still barking outside. Damn it. The dog's owner doesn't have him under control. Okay. That's looking nice. So now let's take a look at some of the brown parts. So, bestial brown. Yeah, this will be a quite quick tutorial, I guess. This model has not much detail that needs super heavy paint jobs. It's quite easy to make. So, okay. Now the excess brown. What else? Okay, let's paint the horns in brown. If it doesn't cover out 100%, it doesn't matter, because we are going over it anyway several times. Make a nice transition. So this is just a priming. The base coat of the horns. Because like Sean would say, he was once a champion of corn. I hope I didn't caught me now the wrath of the gods. So now let's take another brown tone for his face. I use now a mixture out of bestial brown and coltan brown. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. So, and now I need... where do I have it? Where is my snakebite leather? Have you seen it? Be right back when I have found my snakebite leather. Tubies, I'm blind. It stood right in front of me. Well, let's go on. With the snakebite leather, I now paint his handshoe. Doo-doo-doo. And I guess the other one is a skeleton hand, so that will be again coltan brown bestial brown mix. So, nice. This leather straps here. This helmet will be also in snakebite leather then. As you can see, I'm simply blocking out now the main colors until everything is painted in at least one coat. And then I can go on with the shadows and all the highlights and stuff. Okay. I will paint also this part of the eggs and the snakebite leather. And I guess he's in a moment all blocked out. Yeah, only this little hairs there and the axe itself, the axe blade. So, my army has a tendency of having green in it, so, well, you will also have a little bit of green in it. I use now Orchid Shade for this little fur or pelt or whatever that is. A little bit decoration on the axe. And for those of you that keeps asking me about the paints I used in my videos from over 2 years ago, well, guess what? I can't remember. If I don't answer that questions, I simply don't know it again anymore. So please don't be angry about me if I don't answer that questions. So, and yes, of course, I will be making 40k tutorials again. But, well, right now I'm in a mood of fantasy. With my ogres, with my undead, and playing Skyrim in the back. So, there will be some fantasy tutorials first. And, well, several of you have screamed for fantasy, so... well, here it is. Now the X blade. Well, his blade is isn't called the Black Axe of Krell for nothing, so this will be black. I see your axe and I want to paint it black. Schwumm. Schwummdi-dum. Schwummdi-dum-dum-die. And for those of you that find my voice soothing and are almost at sleeping mode, wake up! Sorry, I had to do this. Okie dokie. I guess he's blocked out. Nice. I don't see any details left that are not blocked out. Okay. Now it's time to give him shadows. And for what are we using usually for giving miniature shadows? Yes, of course, a wash. And for him, we use now Devlin Mud Wash. So, just simply big blob. You see, my brush is making sounds again. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-dum. So, let's hope that he will make me proud at my next tournament game this Saturday. Saturday the 28th January 2012. Okay, he is now also washed and shadowed. And now it's time to let him dry. I will use my handy dandy hairdryer for this. And with the power of the internet, I will be showing you the drying time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam! And he's dry. The mighty powers of the internet. Okay. Now let's go on with the paint job. I will go on with the face, I think. Yeah, the face will be nice. What do we use for that? So we started with coltan brown. So let's take a little bit on the palette and we will mix in some bleached bone. So shaking the butt. Taking a little bit. Okay. Ducky. Yeah, that's a nice color. Adjust the brush. And now let's paint in the highlights. It's a little bit too much on the brush, so adjust it even more. Yeah, that's okay. Slightly going over it. Nice. Now again on the hand. Talk to the hand because the hand is not listening. Oh, by the way, I figured out the problem with the ogres. It's quite easy to fix because, well, Forge World has some Nurgle ogres and those will be really nicely stand-ins for undead ogres. So I have to convert them a little bit, but that's not a problem. I think I will get me some of those in time. So now let's go for bleached bone and highlight the skull even more. Of course, we leave a little bit of the previous color behind. Slightly going over the parts. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay. Now we will hit the metal parts again with a tiny little bit of old gunmetal to give it some of the shine back. Adjusting the tip of the brush. Just here and there. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And now we will take a look at the brass parts again. So for that, I use now a brighter bronze, bright bronze from Vallejo Game Color. This color has a slightly more reddish tint to the bronze than the GW Dwarf Bronze. But you could also just simply add a tiny little bit of red into the Dwarf Bronze. That would be okay. Repainting some of the brass parts. Just simply hit it a little bit to give it kind of a highlight. Yeah, that looks nice. I like the style of this armor. I hope they would create some living troops in this kind of armor, like for example Chaos Barbarians or something like that. That would be really nice. A little bit up there. Okay, and he's almost done. So now highlight the leather parts a little bit. So I take snakebite leather again, going slightly over his leather parts. Okay. Also this part here. So So, and now I will mix in some snakebite leather. Tiny little amount. Oh, that looks good. And leave a little bit the folds, the old color, of course. So I get over and over questions about where exactly have a highlight to be. Where? Well, for example, let's take this handshoe. You see, there are folds in it. Those folds are supposed to be dark, and the upper parts are supposed to be brighter. And then simply imagine the light would come directly from above. Then for the next highlight, for example, we take a little bit more snakebite leather in it. Then we will hit the parts that are mostly struck from the top. So for example here, up on the fingers, and when you look down, then maybe a little bit here and down there. You see? And the other parts are in shadow when the lights come from directly above. Well, maybe you could make a little bit down here again, and that's it. So you can determine where to place highlights. Just, well, look the miniature from the top, maybe a slightly angle, and see what you can see, and that are the areas that need to be highlighted. Very easy. So, going over the parts here. Yeah, that's okay. So, well, with this snakebite leather mix, I will go over the horn now and leave a little bit of the older, darker color behind, and start to highlight the horn. And you see all the time I'm using here my old trusty base coat brush. Well, he has seen a lot better days, but you can see I can paint almost a whole miniature with this damaged brush. And over time you will also be able to do this. It is just simply control over the brush, and you will learn this. So now I will mix in some bleached bone to highlight this even more. For those of you that didn't remember, it is still a mixture out of snakebite leather, scorched brown, and now a little bit of bleached bone in it. That was too bright, so we will fix that and remove it. See, while the color is still wet, with a red brush you can remove color. So now let's darken it down again a little bit until it is the right brightness. Yeah, that's okay. To darken it down, I simply have added another little drop of snakebite leather. Not snakebite, the Scotch brown. So, yeah, now again highlighting with a little bit of bleached bone, even more. We're going higher and higher. Yes, you could also use a wet blending for this, but I think that's quite okay. Now for the last highlight, even more bleached bone into the color. And of course I'm also watering down the color, because if I wouldn't, then the color layer on top here would be very thick, and also would well, go off quite easy. The thicker your color coats are, that the easier they break. So yeah, now let's see for the green parts here. We will simply go over this with snot green. So just take your color on the brush, then wipe most of the excess off, like you would almost dry brush. Yeah, that's okay. Ah, damn it. I hit the horn, not good. Yes, also I make mistakes here and there. So, that's enough. Now repaint the top of the horn. Good that we just painted it and the color is still wet. And the damage fixed. Ta-da! Now I want this, well, obviously the miniature is almost done, only I need to do the X. If you like this armor that way, you can leave it like that. But I want for my army that the armor is more corrugated and rusted. And for that I use the usual trick I have shown you in several videos right now. I use some pigments for this. My pigment palette is here. So I use burnt umber. This is this here. And also dark red ochre. This is that. So I simply go in with some water, or you can use alcohol for this, but don't use super mega hefty alcohol. Just normal vodka would do the trick, and simply go over the metal areas now with these pigments to give it a nice rusty patina, but not everywhere, just here and there. We just don't want him to be completely brown. Also, we will remove a little bit of this after it is dry. So don't worry. So this is an interesting feature. On the front side, this is a chainmail. On the back side, this is cloak. Quite interesting. So I have to repaint that a little bit. So yeah, now I will use my wet brush to remove a little bit of the pigments again. Always wiping off the brush then on the paper towel to clean it off again. Just want it to be a little bit rusty, not over brown. Okay, now I will use the other pigment to make here and there some orangey fields. Like rust always have. Just here and there. Just some little indications of this rust. Okay, that's it for the pigments. Also, I will slightly remove a little bit of the orange again, that it don't look like just blobs of orange. It should fade into the armor. Just experiment with it, and if you don't like it, simply put him under water, pull him out, and he's clean again. If you're not fixing the pigments, then everything is okay. I get a lot of questions how to fix those pigments. Well, just simply take a very, very slightly coat of varnish over it, and they should be not moving anywhere. And I get also a lot of questions about what kind of varnish I use. Well, I'll show you. Those are the varnishes I'm using. The Vallejo varnishes in gloss, matte and satin. Mostly I paint them on, but sometimes I use my airbrush to apply them. Sometimes I use the spray varnish from Games Workshop. And, well, that are my varnishes. And I guess he's almost done now. Now let's wash the face a little bit with a tiny little bit of Devlin mudwash. So, to give it a little more detail, like that, also on the hand. Okay, and I also have made some mistakes at the X. So let's simply repaint it quite quick. And I guess I will leave the X in this dark black simply. It is not called the Black X of Krell for nothing. Well, maybe I give some edge highlights. Okay. Yeah, let it dry shortly and be right back. Oh, damn it. I gotta sneeze. Fusroda! Sorry for that. Yeah. Back to business. Well, now I need Codex Gray. And I simply will edge highlight now the X. Slightly going over it with the edge of the brush. Just like that. Okay, now I will mix in some white. Make it even a brighter gray. And again, going over it at the top edges. So I'll leave a little bit of the Codex Gray behind to make the top edges even brighter. Like that. So now I will paint on the middle line here. Very gently. Also here. Barely touching. Just 2 hairs and some hair. Like that. Oh, come on. Okay, maybe 3 hairs. 3 hairs and some hair. And ta-da! We have a nice edged brush. We have a nice edged X. Okay. I can't talk. Okay, maybe also the little scratches that are in there. So one here. One there. And just one stroke is enough. Don't need both edges of those. Okay. And, well, last thing to do is giving the breast part of the armor also some corrugated, and for that I use my usual blue-green from Vallejo model color. Just a tiny little amount and water it down quite a lot. So at least 5:1 mixing ratio, and then I'll slightly pitch here and there a little bit of the blue-green into the bronze armor to give it a corrugated look. Most in the corners. Not overdo it. We don't want him to have a blue armor. It still should be brass. Okay, I think that's enough. Yeah, and he's finished. Only thing left to do is now painting the base, and he's done. For that I simply use usual sand, paint it with Devlin matte wash, then dry brushing it with snakebite leather and bleached bone, some flock on it, and he's done. Okay, I will show you him in a blink of an eye. Blink! Ta-da! And there he is. Well, the base is not dry yet completely, but you get the idea. And here we have the finished Krell, Lord of the Undead. I hope you liked this tutorial, and we see us in the next video. Your Alexandra.